Okay, we are now live. Um, I'm going to start off with some brief news here. Um, of course, like, share, subscribe, all that nonsense. Um, I'm going to start off with my guy Coolio right here, man. It's a little bit of a tough one, man. This brings me back to, uh, I don't even know if I was in like no, I wasn't in middle. I was in like elementary. I'm thinking, I don't even know if I was in the elementary school. I don't even remember, but I do remember Dangerous Minds. Let's first get off into what happened to old Coolio here. This is pretty unfortunate. Says law enforcement sources tell TMZ no drugs or drug paraphernalia were found at the scene of Coolio's death. An autopsy and toxicology test will be used to determine the official cause of death. Um, Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that paramedics were called to a house in Los Angeles around 4 p.m. for a medical emergency. When they got there, and they pronounced Coolio dead. I believe Coolio was 59. Of course, I remember him from Gangster's Paradise, Fantastic Voyage, Good Burger, um, and those things. I mean, this to me, man, this is just another one of the remnants or reminder that the world that we grew up in, there's nothing there anymore. I mean, it's all gone. And we have these conversations, and I know people of a certain age will have these conversations with people who are older or in the generation above them, and they're just like, well, everything's always the same, there's nothing new under the sun. No, more has changed in the last decade than anything changed in probably the last 50 to 60 years. So yeah, I remember him mainly from Nickelodeon. I remember him from like Good Burger. I think it was on the movie Good Burger. Um, but yeah, man, nothing. This is just what I'm talking about. Like the world that we live in no longer exists. I mean, the things that we feel, um, that we remember are gone, and even the things that we remember 5 to 10 years ago are gone. That's just the power of technology and how fast things are moving. And like I said, I don't know anybody. You may have conversations with people who are older than you, and they're always like trying to tell you. I got an uncle like in his late 50s or whatever, and he's always trying to like tell me how it's the same. Like, no, nothing is the same. People's behaviors are not the same. Nothing is the same. You cannot compare your generation to the clown world we're now living in. And speaking of clown world, that's what tonight's show will be all about. The clown world that we are now living in, that is now America, the slow slide that we are now experiencing, the slow decay. So, hold on a second, let me get off cam to go to the next story here. Let's see. Stop that screen. See what else we got here. We're going to get into the other stuff in a minute. Okay. So I guess we got some closure on PnB Rock here. Teen boy and woman arrested, father on the run for rapper's killing. Just like a black father to run out on his son and woman. I hate to say that, but um, I mean, literally. So you're telling me that this was a family thing? This was a family thing? The leader of this family, did he lead them into doing this? Let's go ahead and get into this story. Southern California authorities announced Wednesday a 17-year-old boy and a 32-year-old woman were. Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. But hold on a second. 17-year-old woman and 32-year-old. Wow. Yeah, never mind. We're never going to get into the ages of that. Were arrested in connection with the brutal killing of PnB Rock that occurred during a robbery in broad daylight at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Of course, we know the story. Said multiple suspects were wanted in the homicide investigation. At least one person approached the rapper, demanded his jewelry, and proceeded to shoot him several times in front of the rapper's girlfriends, terrified patrons, and staff. The LAPD said Freddie Tyrone's 17-year-old son was arrested in connection with the deadly shooting. He was arrested in Lawndale on a murder charge, and his name has not been released. Okay, so I guess So this kid isn't even of age. He's 7. It's the blind leading the blind here. Like, this is once again just a, a show of the decay that we now live in, right? The blind leading the blind. 17-year-old son, right? Arrested. His name is not even 18. And he literally went, and his father is connected with this. Freddie Tyrone is considered armed and dangerous, and authorities are asking anyone who sees him to call 911 immediately. Wow. Well, all this is alleged, of course. We don't know anything yet. This is all alleged. We don't know if anything, if this is what actually happened. We don't know. But once again, just more proof of the decay that we are now living in, just more proof of what this is, and we're living in a clown world here. We've been spending most of our life living in a gangster's paradise. How about that? So let's see, what's the next one we got here? What's the next story? We're going to blow through these stories really quick. Pause. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I got a bunch of stories. I'm trying to do these like that old Ramil guy. He'll have all of his tabs up at the same time. Okay, I don't know who heard about this one. All right. The Cubans approve gay marriage by large margin in referendum. Now, okay, we know you're not going to convince me that the elections are legit. Okay. Like, you're not even going to convince me of that with this. Like, you're not telling me that this is a legit. Like, you're telling me 4 million people, right? And this was the same country, right? The same country that at one point in time would send members of that community to basically concentration camps or reassignment camps, like brainwashing camps, right? So I don't believe in this at all. I don't think this is legit. But can you guys guess how this happened? Can you guess how it happened? Can you guess where this referendum came from? Let me see if I can find the person's name. Oh, hold on a second. It came from who else but a woman? It was a woman, right? Mariela Castro, right? She, and this is the communist Cuban empire, right? All it takes is one infiltrator. She was related to Fidel. She was Fidel's, I think, great. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. She's the niece. She's Fidel Castro's niece, which means she's going to be connected, right? And she was turned. She was subverted. She, she got gamed, and she proceeded to create the Cuban National Center for Sex Education, CENSEX, and that came from the Federation of Cuban Women. So even if that's telling me anything, it's telling me that no matter what power you have, no matter what apparatus you build for government, if it can be subverted by feminism, the whole thing can come down. The whole thing can come down, because this started with the Federation of Cuban Women, which she was a member of, which was established, right? This was established by Vilma Espin as president after the 1960s, right? After the 60s. And she was able to kind of subvert that. And this was basically a communist feminist movement. It's all about bringing women. Let me bring this up to you really quick. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can try to share this. Remove. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can try to share this really quick. Hold on a second. No, that ain't it. Share. Yeah, I got to always go back in here. So this movement, the Federation of Cuban Women, this is what she modeled. She wanted to model this CENSEX, which was the Center for Sex and Sex Education and all that, which is something I don't even really believe in. I think that these are all Trojan horses to me. like everything that is wrapped up in education to me is a Trojan horse to a certain extent, right? So this Federation of Cuban Women, right? 1960, Vilma Espin, and then this starts with bringing women out of the home and the economy, reorganizing peasant households that keep women in subservient position, developing communal service to alleviate domestic work and childcare, providing equal opportunities for women. How many times? This is where it all starts. This is where it all starts, right here. How are you going to provide equal opportunity for something that's not equal? You're not equal. Mobilizing women into political work in government administration. So this is where this came from. I mean, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what apparatus you have. It all goes back to the Bible to me. When you bite the apple, you can build the Garden of Eden. And all it takes is one subversion to lead a man down the wrong path, eat the apple to destroy the whole garden. Now we don't even know where the Garden of Eden is anymore, right? So let's go to where we at next. Let's see what we got here, because we are going to blast through these here pretty quickly. Let me remove that. I forgot. I gotta hit this I gotta get better with this. You know, I'm stupid when it comes to this stuff. Okay, let's check on the community here, right? Let's see what we got here. I know you've all seen this. I'm late to the game with this. Definitely late to the game.
Philadelphia is in shambles after dozens of young people ransacked the shop. It happened last night at Tyson Avenue and Roosevelt Boulevard in the Mayfair section of the city. Tonight, police are scouring through social media to find the people responsible. Action News reporter Katie Catro is following this story and has details.
Philadelphia police are combing through videos trying to find the people responsible.
Look at that cut right there. Look at the edges of that hair.
While there are no injuries to report, we spoke with people tonight who say they are frustrated watching those videos.
It's atrocious. It's disgusting. It really is. It's horrible.
Philadelphia police are investigating any videos like these that they come across on social media of a large group ransacking the Wawa on the 7000 block of Roosevelt Boulevard in Mayfair. We spoke with one resident too shaken up to show her face on camera, who said she often thinks twice before coming in.
Sometimes I'm afraid to stop.
We know what she is.
Police say it happened just before.
Look at them legs.
Police say
we know exactly what she is. Look at these legs. Look at that jelly right there. These are some out of shape legs right here. We know exactly what that is.
Shame.
Police say it happened just before 8:30 Saturday night. The video shows a group of teens inside throwing food, stealing, and breaking items.
Oh
This
my
time
God.
of night, I keep my guard up. That's why I have my mom with me.
Okay. Evil. Pure evil to me. Pure evil to me. This right here, to me, in my opinion, this is just as bad as this. Evil is evil. Wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. This right here is just as unsightly to me as this. Caitlin, that's a Caitlin to you? You can't have one without the other. When evil becomes tolerable, all becomes evil. And that's the problem. We think as Americans, or whatever you call yourselves, we think we're shocked. We're offended at the sight of the youth going in to break in or something like this right here. We can all admit that we don't want to see this. But you get this because you have this. Evil is evil to me. Evil is evil. God is no respecter of persons. Let's go ahead and hear what Caitlin has to say. Caitlin, right? Let's hear what Caitlin has to say, guys. Let's see that the best looking Caitlin you've ever seen.
Police say when they arrived.
My mom with me.
Police say when they
I keep my guard up. That's why I have my mom
Yeah.
with me.
police say when they arrived item.
Look at this.
I keep my guard up.
This is this right here. This is the issue. This is the issue. Like, this is the issue that
I have my mom with me.
Police say when they arrived, they found around 100 teens inside, damaging the store, and they were able to disperse the crowd.
People need to take accountability for their children.
You can see the aftermath
Yeah,
of what's
yeah,
left.
Yeah.
We spoke-
Yep. And we can start with accountability for this child. We can start with Caitlin. Let's start with Caitlin right here. Let's start with Caitlin. And listen to what she says. She says she has her mom with her, right?
Time of night. I keep my guard up. That's why I have my mom with me.
She has her mom with her. Where's your dad at? Where's your father, Caitlin?
Police say when they arrived, they found around 100 teens inside, damaging the store, and they were able to disperse the crowd.
People need to take accountability for their children.
You can see the aftermath of what's left. We spoke with a former employee.
I was angry. I was very upset because being in the shoes of those employees, I know just how terrifying it is and how, frustrating it is having to clean up after that as well.
Wawa sent Action News' statement saying in part that they are aware of the situation and they are working with police. Northeast detectives say they are.
Clown World. Another night in Clown World, my friends. Another night in Clown World. Another night in Clown World. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got some other news for you right here. Hold on a second. We got somebody added. We are adding somebody to the stream. I want you guys to, what you don't understand is evil affects everything. Everything. It affects everything to me. Wrong affects everything. Bad behavior taints everything. Discouragement taints everything. A lack of faith taints everything. Fear taints everything. And it literally affects the entire world around you. Not just when it comes to black people, not just when it comes to white people, not just when it comes to like even something like this. Even something as simple as this. Let's look at American infrastructure. America's bridges are falling apart faster than ever. We are literally going to get to a point to where you won't even be able to drive down certain roads. Bridges in poor conditions, bridges falling apart. Roughly a third of the nation's 6,200,000 bridges, 36%, need major repair work or replacement, a new report finds. Why it mattered: deferred maintenance, climate change, heavier than anticipated traffic. Well, you can chunk that up to illegal immigration or whatever you want to chunk it up to, but are causing bridges to wear out earlier than expected. And engineers say not enough is being done to keep drivers safe. More than 43,500 bridges, 500 U.S. bridges are in poor enough condition to be deemed structurally deficient, according to the report by American Road and Transportation Builders Association. Chunks of concrete. This is like, I don't want to just go crazy here, but chunks of concrete fall from bridges with some regularity, and routine inspections often reveal problems that prompt authorities to shut down lanes of traffic or close off a bridge to heavy vehicles to reduce the weight burden. This is absolutely, like, when I tell you it's everything. It's everything. It's not only just kids running into Wawa. It's not only just, women that look like this Caitlin person. It's not only PnB, PnB Rock, the PnB Rock situation, right, with the father leading his son into doing something crazy and then leaving his son. It literally touches everything. Everything. And it starts with an attitude. It starts at the top. It starts with your beliefs, right? And, they got your boy Pete Buttjet in here saying the single largest dedicated bridge investment, right? Since the construction of the interstate highway system, right? That's what they're calling this quote unquote infrastructure bill. But the thing,
Well, patriarch, I want to ask you a question. Yeah, what's going on, boss? I want to ask you a question. You think because of the infrastructure, it didn't have something to do with jobs going overseas? Because most of our good infrastructure are overseas. Like most of the business are being done overseas. You think that's what's causing like the bridge collapsing in the United
No.
States?
no, I think it's like for me, I'm going to look at it from an esoteric standpoint. I'm going to attach it to the attitude of the average American, right?
Mm,
That's what I'm going to
okay.
attach it to. That's my goal. I mean, there's many things that you could say, right? Like I can't blame overseas for the fact that nobody wants to go build bridges, or nobody wants to become engineers, or nobody wants to go out and do road work. I mean, how many people want to go out and actually work on these roads? How many people actually want to go out and do that? Not too many. Not too many. So it's an attitude thing. It's an attitude. I'm taking it to attitude, but keep trying. What were you going to chime in for that? What were you going to say about that?
No, I think that like the stuff going overseas because labor is cheap over there. Government, the politicians and the regulations, and when they're playing their politics on certain companies, they're taking advantage of the little guy and this and that. So they're just like, okay, if you're gonna, you know, raise our taxes, if you're gonna make it hard for us to employ Americans, then we're just gonna take our business elsewhere and then just bring it back in because it's cheaper to do that. So if you don't want us, if you want to, regulate us, then the American people are gonna suffer for that. So that's literally what's happening. It's just a whole bunch of politics stuff going on the scenes, and they say, oh, these companies, they don't want to pay employees, they don't want to do that, or they don't want to pay this, and then they all have their agendas for certain stuff, because especially a lot of countries in America, they have to do the whole I don't know why I'm going blank, where they have to do the whole thing where they're like a good company thing where they're investing in communities, they're donating, and then they're trying to keep the environment safe and a whole bunch of other stuff. So they're like, we can just go to these other countries and we don't have to do that at all. So peace. We're going to Mexico, we're going to China, we're going to freaking Bangladesh, we're going to all these other places. So
Yeah, and it really, like I said, it's just an overall. Just an overall sense of the world right now to me. I mean, of course, he was able to pinpoint why certain countries went other places in terms of talent, taxation, and internal economic policies, which cause companies to flee, right? But you can even look at appropriation of the money. Okay, what was being done for the last 40 years with that money? I'm not going to do a report on it, but I can guarantee you're not going to tell me that every dollar was spent correctly. You're not going to tell me that. You're not going to, there's no way you can convince me of that, because this would be something that would be seen everywhere and not just leading in certain parts of the world. Like I think Iowa was number one or something like that. So I wanted to actually move on to the next evidence of societal decay in the United States. Now, this is interesting. Number one, I don't like mental health. I think it's stupid. I think a lot of the concept, I think it's a fake word. It's something that they're attributing meanings to it and examples to it. I think it's pseudoscience. A lot of it is pseudoscience, right? I think some things are clinical, but I think most of this is just made up crap that they're just convincing people of.
Mhm.
But this is interesting. This is something that I saw. Young people are driving a rise in mental health spending, right? So we've convinced these young people that, oh, you're mentally unhealthy. Oh, did you cough 3 times? Oh, you're depressed. Oh, you have ADHD, right? You go take these drugs, right? And what I'm seeing is, look at this, right? Look at this. It's the distribution of healthcare spending by age group. Now, these are the people that you're telling me I need to listen to, the people under the 18. You're telling me that these people are going to save the world, right? 25% of 12% of total spending, and 25% for this age group, which is the largest percentage, is on mental health and substance abuse. So why are they saying, well, we need to listen to the younger people? The younger people are going to change the world. But I mean, you don't even have your mental, quote unquote, mental health right. But I need to listen to you. I need to listen to your opinions. It's crazy because, like, I guess this is the total spending. I don't. I'm still not understanding how the graph is broken down. But this is the total spending. I guess this is more medical things. This would make sense to older people because you might have Alzheimer's, you might have things like that. But this makes absolutely no sense. The 25% of mental health spending and substance abuse spending for people under the age of 18. It's just absolutely insane to me. I'm looking at this right now. In 2022, employers and workers spent $77 billion on mental health disorders. So why are you, if these people are mentally disordered, why are you even hiring them? Once again, look at this, 20 million Americans have a substance use problem. Absolutely insane. More evidence of the decay. More evidence. How are
I don't
you?
get off work until like I work for, I can't even, you're probably gonna roast the fuck out of me, but I work
Don't
for
don't say where you work, because people try to dox people.
Okay, well, I don't get off work until I'm self-independent contractor, but I don't get off work. I put myself on a schedule until 10:30. I typically work from 4:30 to around 10:30 to 11, but I have a little bit of time. I've been working extra hard because I'm a woman and I can work just as hard as a fucking man. So definitely want to put that out on the table. I don't think I'm oppressed because of my gender. I don't think that men are better than women. I think we're both equal. So I just definitely want to put that out there on the table.
So you want to sleep with something that's equal to you?
Why not? We're all human.
That doesn't sound a little.
I just wanted to pull over because I felt a little
that
offended.
doesn't sound. It sounds like you like the people in Cuba.
I just felt a little offended.
You want to sleep with something that's equal to you?
I mean, I just felt a little offended that you were blaming a whole lot of downfalls on women, and I think that's an oppressive mindset. I just think you think you're oppressed because you're a man, and that's just not the case, because there's a whole lot of downfalls that has been.
When did oppression come out of my? I don't remember oppression coming out of my mouth.
It doesn't. You don't say it. You typically show it.
I show it.
You are showing it, basically blaming gender on you're blaming gender on certain things, and I feel offended because it's a hard.
Do you think it's womanly to be a leader?
I think anybody can be a leader.
If anybody can be a leader, then there would be no leaders, because everybody would be a leader.
I'm not saying every single body. I said I think anybody. I think whether you're gay, it doesn't matter. Anybody can become a leader, but not everybody can become a leader.
We would need no leaders. Then there would be no leaders. If everybody could be a leader, then we would need no leaders. But let me ask you a question. Do you think it's womanly? Do you think it's manly? Do you think men and women are different in terms of their roles? Like, do you think there's different? There's like, what do you think of a man that said, I can paint my nails better than you? What do you think of that?
I think in those type of attributes, I think that's a difference as far as the biology of the body, the human body, and I know there's a difference between male and female. I know that, but as far as accomplishments, come on now. As far as the reason why our country is a downfall, I feel like you kind of come off as saying that women aren't shit and like we're less than, and we're not nothing, we're not worth anything. And it's like, no, all of us can be worth something, you know. That
So,
kind of
so the
hurts me a
second
little
statement,
bit.
the second statement is the last statement is not true. All of us are not
No,
worth.
I feel as though that's
No,
how you
no, you
make
no, you
us.
don't. You don't feel like everybody's worth something because you make it very
I do.
evident. You make it very evident that people that are of a darker skin tone, in your opinion, are worth nothing. So therefore, you don't think this idea. First off, you got to stop with that. Equality is fake. Okay, there's no such thing as equality.
I didn't say equal. I know I'm just gonna be honest with you. There's actually some women who are more accomplished than men in society. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You know what I mean?
Accomplished in terms of what?
As far as success, as far as leadership, and I think you're upset with that. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't like the
I'm
fact
not
that you're
upset.
blaming
I'm not
things
upset.
on women. You know
Okay,
what I mean? I have a
I'm not
problem with that.
upset. Excuse me. I'm not upset with anything. All right. I just think
Do you think
that
that we're less than? That
are you
we're
gonna
not worth?
are you gonna let me talk? Listen, I just think that some people get thrown into a boxing ring and they pin the person's arms behind their back in the name of equality and tell them to box, and you never really earned this straight up. You never earned it straight up. You never had to face anybody competitively to earn it. That's what I honestly think. I think that most people are.
Physically.
Hold on. In America, a lot of these people that are in positions of success, some of them are given things.
Do you really think that we don't work as hard as men? You think that they just feel sorry for
Who is
women,
we?
so we just
Who is we?
a woman. Do you think that we don't work as hard as men and they just feel sorry for us and be like, oh, well, you're a woman, so we're just gonna put you in power?
Has that ever happened before?
No, that does not happen,
Really?
dude.
So what is the National Organization of Women, and what do they do?
Bro, anybody can cry oppression. Anybody can go out and march.
And do they get stuff from crying oppression?
Anybody can. Gay people,
But
gay
do they?
men.
Okay, once again,
Anybody
like I
can.
said before, they're not earning it. That's not earning anything. If you're crying to the ref, like that's not earning anything.
I'm talking about when these women go for their college degrees, they do have to earn it just as well as a man.
Okay, so give me a
Stop blaming
situation.
everything on
Give me a
women.
situation. I didn't blame everything. Didn't you just hear me talk about fathers? Didn't you just hear me talk about that? You're seeing something that I'm not saying here. Okay, so I'm asking you, give me an example. Because I can give you the National Organization of Women. I can give you all of the incentives in STEM. I can give you feminist organizations which go into corporations with the intent to solely hire women. I can tell you how they drop the standard for women in STEM. I can back those things up. We can actually see that. So for you, give me an example of a woman earning some, and I will agree or disagree. I'm not saying that what you're saying is not correct, but just give me an example.
Lori Lightfoot of Chicago.
Lori Lightfoot in terms of what?
I know she does not have no fucking women privilege because she's a fucking slut.
Hold on a second.
She's the mayor.
Okay, I know. Did she win the mayor fair and square? Absolutely. You will hear no disagreement from me in that. Okay? But when I look at her work and her leadership, it's terrible.
Trash.
So is that it? So do you look up to Lori Lightfoot?
Hell no.
But she's equal to you.
No. Okay, not every woman. I think you got it confused. Okay. There's downfalls in every category. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with that.
When I say, I think you're just misunderstanding me. I
think you're misunderstanding me.
I think I am probably coming off as a little emotional because I feel like.
Let me tell you what I hold on a second. Let me tell you what it is. There's a distribution of labor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There are some things women can do that men will never be able to do. And they're very good at them. And there are some things men can do that women will never be able to do. And men are naturally good at them. Now, what happened is one group did not like their role in what they were doing, and they decided that they wanted to be the king, but they don't understand that there's a cost to that role. There's
When you say
stress.
role, what do you mean?
Let's talk about leadership.
Yeah.
About leadership. You think
But-
it's good to be in leadership?
Why not?
Have you ever
I
been
like
a
to feel
leader? Have
powerful
you ever been a leader?
Mm,
You think power is easy?
I know you're gonna laugh at me, but yeah, I have ran something before. I've damn near ran a daycare. Damn near.
Okay.
Women are in charge of the kids.
Okay, so but I'm okay, so a daycare, that's fine, but I'm just letting you know, leadership and power is tough. You make one wrong move, one wrong mistake, and you're done for. You're
Well,
always
Queen
under
Elizabeth
scrutiny.
she held it down. I can say that. Queen
She
Elizabeth
had
She
held
wasn't
it.
even a real.
power. She
She had no
figurehead.
She
power.
wasn't even a real
She was
queen.
Yes.
That's a whole new story.
Any command she made, they
Oh,
did it.
wow.
She
No.
did.
They had parliament.
Do research.
Oh,
No, she
God.
did not. No, she
There's a
did
After her
not.
prime
father
minister for a
died,
reason.
in 1942, she became
Nope.
in power. You
She
know,
was a
she had
26-year-old woman.
Oh
She
my
wasn't doing
goodness.
shit.
She was
She wasn't doing nothing.
figurehead.
I'm saying
Okay,
it was Prince
so you
Charles. Do
telling me that
research
she
on it.
made orders? She made orders, but no one.
So you
everybody
telling
like,
me
fuck that
after
You
shit.
she
telling
was
me she had more
23?
power than Winston Churchill? See,
Exactly.
you'd have
That's what
been
her.
better
He
off.
doesn't
See,
even know
you'd have been better
history.
off saying Margaret
Margaret
Thatcher.
Thatcher,
You'd have been better
exactly.
off saying the Iron
The
Lady,
Iron
right?
Lady, exactly.
So you'd have been better off saying, but even she was backed by some pretty serious men. But
Yeah.
listen, I don't
Facts.
really want to have the men and women combo. We can do that
Thank
on
you.
another. Well, you chose to have it. I don't
No,
really.
I just wanted to come up. I first started up by saying
Why
I'm a
would you?
hardworking person, but like I just want because I know a lot of times, sometimes like you started off today bringing up the gender when we were talking about the crime in our country, but you brought up like, oh, women are the downfall of our country, and it's like I don't think that. That's
Is
all
that
I want to
is
say.
that what came out? You may need to
No,
understand again what I said.
no. You said woman was the
I
downfall.
said
of
they were the
country.
downfall. I showed how a woman was the one that got that Cuban LGBT law passed.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna screen
You should
record.
do that. But the
saying
thing
that,
is that.
because
But the
you
thing
said
is,
women are the downfall of feminism.
okay.
Women are the
Well,
downfall.
no. Okay. Well, hold on a second. I do think feminism is a very bad thing. Do you disagree?
Not really. I mean,
Okay. Listen, women are good at a lot of things, and men are good, but they're good at different things than men are good at.
I think the
And they
feminist
should stick.
movement was. I think
They
the
should.
feminist movement was needed, but I don't
Oh
think.
my God! For what?
Well, it was needed back in the like how every movement was like for an example.
Every movement was needed.
At one point in time, yeah, Black Lives Matter
Wait,
at one
so
point
you're
in time
telling
was
me?
needed.
So you're pro BLM?
Hell no, not now. But
Oh,
I did support a little bit of them. Like, hey,
and
they were.
that right there shows why you. This shows how women think,
No,
because
I'm just.
you
So
you
don't
got
think police
gamed.
brutality was a
You
thing.
got
Police
gamed
brutality
into
was a
believing
thing.
that crap. You
No,
got
police
gamed into believing
brutality.
that.
No, police brutality was a thing, and it needed to change. But now that
No,
it
it
has
did not.
changed,
No,
I
it
don't
does
think
not.
it's needed.
No, it does not.
They
No, it
were
does not
racist.
need to
They
change.
were doing things
It
to
doesn't
what
need to
they
change in the
were.
Wawa. It doesn't need to
They
change in
were.
the Wawa video. See,
No,
this
they.
is what I'm saying. You don't even you talk about darker skinned people and the crime they do. So obviously you
I
don't
sure
think it needs
do.
to
But
change.
my thing is, some things did need to change in this country because police officers could do as much as crime as far as RAPE and get away with it. It did need to change.
It's our fault.
Let me ask you a question. Do women, since things need to change and
Fast
everything needs to be
Quincy.
equal,
Fast
do women
Quincy.
get same time? Do women get the same time for the same crimes as men?
No, they don't, and I
Okay.
think that should change
Exactly.
too.
Okay, all right. So listen, I'm not here to have the feminist conversation with you.
Okay, so we're
Listen,
done.
But you're not equal in any form or fashion at all. You're not, and so I don't feel that you should be treated. I don't feel that.
That's hurtful.
Why?
But you're not. But first off, there's nothing wrong. I'm not equal to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Exactly.
I'm
You're
not equal.
equal.
I'm not equal to Joe Biden.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So why are you so ungrateful for your role? Why do women
When you
hate
say,
being women?
okay,
Why do women hate being women?
I don't
Why
hate
do
being
you
a
hate
woman, but
yeah, you do.
I don't like for a man to tell me, oh, well, your job is to only cook and clean and take care of children, and
Did
that's just it. Like,
did that come out my mouth?
I
He
kind of,
didn't say
okay,
that.
maybe I misunderstand, but I kind of feel as though I feel like that's what you're getting
And
to.
I
Feelings.
feel and
It's
I feel
feelings.
hold
It's
on a second.
feelings.
And I feel that most of you are so insecure that you have to go out and take on these unnecessary battles to have the last word with men because you don't feel comfortable with your role, because you let a bunch of other women sell you on the fact that what you're doing isn't important, and you believe those women, those undesired women, you're like like being a mother is something evil, like
It's
staying at
not.
home. Okay, but okay, it's just cooking and cleaning and being a mom is just as important as being a president.
Okay, can I open up to you,
Facts.
Stacey?
Go
Can
ahead.
Facts.
I open up to you? I just want to say, I think I'm putting my feelings out there because I just feel as though one day it is a fear for me that one day woman is gonna the laws, this country is gonna go downhill, and the superior race is gonna, wipe out some laws, and it's gonna affect women, and we're gonna go back to the old days where we didn't
We
have
should
rights
go back
to
to the
work.
old days.
That's what I have a problem with, and that's why
You
I
never
come
lived,
up
but
But
today
the
you
and
old
never
days
lived.
was
Hold on
working.
a second, time out. You never lived in the old days.
Exactly.
so you
You never
support
Facts.
that, Patriot.
let me
You
finish. Let
support
me
that.
finish.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
let me finish. Because I have a grandma and I understand what my grandma is. And you're not even molded in that. They're not loud, they're not boisterous, they're careful. You probably don't even know how to nurture a child.
I do.
Like,
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
we know. This is the whole thing about like some women. We know you can be tough. We know that you can yell. We know
It's
that
not
you can.
about
Hold
that.
on, let me finish. We know that you can yell. Can you prove to me that you can't? Sometimes
It's,
it's harder to submit than it is to be rambunctious.
no, it's not about that. I'm getting a little emotional. It's hurtful because I just
Ugh.
feel as though it's not about, I don't mind being a mother. I think women do have certain roles, yes, but I just have a fear that we're going to be made to feel as though we are literally a piece of shit. We're not worth anything. In that time period of when women didn't have
Okay.
rights and have a choice to get jobs and go do certain things,
Yeah.
that I feel like
And
some men on this panel,
the job market is so great right now.
and I just feel like some men in society in general,
The job market that will import 1,500,000 people from the third world and replace you at the snap of a button.
no,
Facts.
I just feel like some
You
men.
would rather be loyal to that system. You
No,
would
it's just
rather
a fear. It's just a fear that
listen.
some men are
That
out
fear.
there.
Okay, so then didn't I talk about fear? Didn't I talk about how fear is one of the things that leads to evil? Like, come on now. Like literally, listen, I don't want to have the back and forth right now because I don't want you to like make another video like you did this week. I think you're hilarious, by the way. But I don't want to I'm not like I don't really want to do that. Like, I don't I just feel like you are an example of somebody. This is what happened, right? And please nobody interrupt me. Somebody saw Superman flying out there one day and told Superman, why aren't you like the rest of us? Why are you flying around in the air with superpowers? Why are you not like the rest of us? Why are you being Superman? And Superman got insecure and dumbed himself down to becoming a human being and never using a superpower. And that is literally what has happened to women. Women literally have a superpower of nurturing and caring and childbirth and domesticated home skills in assistance in becoming a point guard and being an assistant. And you let somebody else tell you that that was not valuable. You gave up on your superpower. And that is a joke to me. Even in this conversation, it's just a joke. And I don't really like having these conversations because I'm not like, that type of guy. I'm not like that type of guy. But it's like you literally let people tell you that submission and teamwork is not something that is a good thing. That I only want to play on the team if I'm the point guard. That is
No,
that.
I think you have me misunderstood. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think submission is a bad thing. I don't think
Nothing.
I don't
Nothing's
think
wrong with
that's
playing
bad.
second fiddle.
I think there should always be a choice. Like, for an example, let's just say, can I just bring up something else? For an example, if there was like laws, or if there was a group of people who were trying to actively say, oh, well, I think slavery was a good thing. So, I will understand if Black people, have a big fear and they get emotional about it, because that is something big for someone to try to bring back. Well, that's the same thing with me. It's a fear for me that as a woman, and I think it would be a fear for men if they feel like their powers are being reduced and stuff like that. It's a fear.
They
I
are.
feel you. I feel you. But it's also a fear for me as a woman. It's a fear that I have in the back of my head that one day I'm gonna wake up and everything's gonna be stripped away. And that's why I'm very hardcore. I always fight for women, because I feel like we can do the same thing as men, but it's a choice. It's a choice. We can do the traditional. We can do but it should always be a choice. It shouldn't be mandatory, where it shouldn't be like forced upon people. Like, we should have freedom, like everyone, I feel like we into this conversation where some men think that
Freedom is
can't do
stupid.
anything without a man's permission. We can't do anything
Freedom
without.
is stupid.
Okay,
Freedom
that
is-
right there,
yeah.
I disagree with.
Okay, well, what is freedom yielded people? What is freedom yielded people? We got one. Look at this. Look at everything I went through tonight. 1 in 4 people, 20 million Americans are on drugs. Let me finish. 20 million Americans are on drugs. Our roads are falling apart. Our bridges are falling apart. Kids are breaking into everywhere. Some people don't even know what gender they are. What has freedom really gotten us?
Nowhere. It just caused chaos.
It's got us respecting people's feelings when we should say "fuck your feelings."
No, but
Can I ask you a question down below me? Can I ask you a question? Do you believe that women shouldn't have the choice, and they should only only be able to do whatever men give them permission for?
No, I don't
Or
believe
do you? Okay, then we're friends. We're friends. Do you think that you on the same page as me? You think that we should have a choice? It shouldn't be determined by a man. We shouldn't be
Well,
like,
I don't think this
what if
choice
what
is
you
kind
do
of a
affect?
blanket.
What if what you do affects me? Because you
What do I
outnumber
do?
men now.
Yeah, it's more women than men
That's
in
what I'm
America.
saying. And what you do affects us. Are you? Hold on a second. All right. No,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
more women are in line with men think than you. If there's
Why
more
do you have
women,
your hand over your mouth?
Because I was crying. That's what
Yo, I'm
like,
gonna.
it's
Okay,
so
all right.
funny.
We can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't do that.
I'm not
gotta.
crying.
Okay, you have to do that somewhere else. Like I'm not gonna look like I'm bullying you
It's
by
just,
what I'm saying. So
it's
like,
just scary. It's so scary, and like
okay.
that's why I don't
All right.
think I'm oppressed.
I have a
don't think
question.
I'm
I have a
oppressed
All
question.
right. Like now, okay, we're gonna have to change the subject because now,
Yeah,
like,
we have to change
No,
the
stop
subject.
it.
no.
Stop it. No. I want to talk about this because I need to know
Why?
the mindset.
No,
of
like I
people.
don't want to. Like you gonna make it look like I'm trying to bully you. I'm just not doing
No,
that.
you're not bullying me, Patri. I'm tough. I got this.
Well, I have a question. What are you scared of? When men were in charge, nothing
That's a
bad was
fear.
happening. Nothing bad was happening to women when we were in charge.
When women didn't have rights, there were so many.
Is that bad though?
Alright,
There were
Nothing
so
bad
many.
was happening.
There were so many women getting beat on. There were so
Oh
many.
my god. All right,
Yeah,
y'all. Like, okay, so can we move on? I'm just being honest with you because I don't feel like doing this, y'all.
Okay.
Because like we know what she's gonna say. She's moving in fear. She thinks all this stuff is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm advocating for my group the same way you advocate for your group of women. I'm not a woman. I'm gonna advocate for my group. Okay. And if you didn't want us advocating for our group for dominance, then you should have never started off by advocating for your group for dominance. That's why this whole thing is a slippery slope. When you go out to the world and say, I want stuff because I'm a woman and I'm not being treated right, and you change the way things are done, you make it a political lobbying game, then you're going to have people like me. So, like, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Y'all started this. Y'all started off by saying y'all wanted women to be this and be that. And you think you weren't going to have us? You think
it definitely started because there was an era where men were overpowering.
Okay,
Where
and
men
now,
were
okay, and
abusing their power.
once again, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. When women decided we're gonna get our way by calling out the problems of men, did you honestly think men were gonna sit down and take it and not you didn't think that this was gonna cause an issue long term?
I think the reason why the feminist movement started is because men were they were abusing the power that they had. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
we couldn't
Incorrect.
even get
Incorrect.
divorces. We
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
Incorrect.
even.
No, that's incorrect.
the men who are
Incorrect.
dying, the men who are dying on oil rigs, the men who are homeless now. Like, bro, like I don't want to dunk on this tonight. I just don't feel like doing it with you.
Yes, I want to
But
end it
like,
right here.
because
But I just want to say,
you don't have an argument for oppression. You don't. Because
I
you
know
don't make
we're not oppressed. We're equal.
let me just say this right now. No, we're not equal. If you go homeless and I go homeless, there's more resources out there for you. There's more people that are willing to back you up than me.
Facts.
So that's what I'm saying. It is what it is. I am literally I'm over this. I don't want to have this conversation with you. I just don't want to do it because it's going to look bad on me. And I would prefer for you not to make another video on me.
I'm
We're
gonna
still
make as
friends.
many videos on you. I like you.
Can we move on?
Yes, let's move on. I really have to be back at work, but
Okay. You should probably not take time off of work to come on and argue with people on YouTube.
no, I could do that because I'm an independent contractor. I can
You should
be
be
on
you see this, but you want to be a leader, but you taking time off the clock to come and argue with people.
because I have time. I could do that.
That's what.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
really? Is
still
that what a leader would be doing?
I get paid regardless. I don't have any orders coming in.
Okay. All right. I think. See, if you were a male leader would probably be working on a certification or something like that. He wouldn't be wasting his time on YouTube trying to prove his position. But that's what men do, and that's why they're unequal to you, because they use their time to be more efficient. And whatever you're doing with the orders and all of that, probably some IT background, probably working in some building with some great foundation. I just want to let you, it's probably financed by a great bank. And I just want to let you know everything around you was not built by women.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you guys think about all the young people being on drugs?
Oh.
No, but the thing is, I think it's an agenda for that. For they want young people to be dumbfounded with drugs, because at the end of the day, it's gonna have a long-term effect. Then you're gonna have more young people on drugs. I mean, more corrupt politician will be able to create more corrupt laws to keep people even more dumbfounded.
I think it's a cultural issue.
Really? I think it's a culture. So what culture?
Black culture. I think it's a cultural issue. I just what I observe
I don't know about that, but I guess I can see what you're. I think in terms of dealing, it could be that, but not.
But you notice the people that commit the crimes are darker complected people. Like even the ones who just committed the murder with the PnB Rock. That's what I've noticed. I always call it out. I just call it out. That's what I noticed. I know.
Okay. What is it that you notice about PnB Rock?
He was a troll. He was a troll online.
I mean, yeah, everybody has the freedom of speech to speak and to talk, however they want to talk. But like, my thing is, PnB Rock, I feel like he was one of those little gangster rappers, but like, I feel like he wasn't to be taken serious. I think he was just using it to just make money like everyone else. You know what I mean?
Do you think he should have been in that neighborhood?
Like 6ix9ine.
I'm hearing feedback.
Oh, sorry. I do think that was a dumb move for him to be in predominantly black, because like, one second. Can you hear me now? Is it fixed?
Yeah, I'm not hearing feedback. Well, I'm hearing somebody else who's got their stuff on. Somebody else has got their. All right, I can hear it now. I don't know. Somebody doesn't have feedback. Listen, man. I mean, the neighborhood is a bad neighborhood. I mean, I'm not walking on anybody's grave here with what happened. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not walking on anybody's grave, but it wasn't a good era. So, But yeah, man, keep trying. You got anything you want to say about the stream? Because this has been interesting so far.
Yeah, I made sure I was crying. That's hilarious.
I still love you,
Listen, man.
thanks.
When you was talking about like the mental health thing and like them being on drugs and like the thing, like this is what happens when people reject God. And they think that they don't need God. They have to
Facts.
go and find other stuff to fulfill the hole that they're missing because they don't have a God. So now religion, mental health is the new church, right? Because what do? If you're a Catholic, you would go to church, you would confess your sins to the Father. Now, if you're a mental health thing, you go to your therapist and you complain about your problems, and then you take some
Yeah.
pills to make yourself feel better. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this is all just a coping mechanism because a lot of these people, a lot of these young kids, they feel empty. They feel like there's nothing for them to do, and there's really not really much for them to do for real because um human beings overall over time have made life so easy where like now they don't even have to leave their house to get food. They don't have to leave their house what do you call it to be entertained. They don't even have to leave their house to like meet people. They just go online, like everything's online for them. So it's just like
Yeah.
they don't have no struggles or worries about like having to go and do stuff. Like even the jobs, they've been automated, so it's like there's barely anything for them to even do, where this is like, yo, go do a paper route. Like no one reads newspapers anymore. It's like, oh, go work at Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever. They're putting those freaking what do you call it, things in the stores. You don't even need cashiers. Go to Walmart.
POS
Yeah,
machines. Yeah.
yeah. Go to
Yep.
Walmart, the same thing, self checkout. So it's like they literally have nothing to do, and I can understand why they're not thing, because they said like idle time is the devil's playground. So this is what we're seeing right now, and it's only gonna get worse as we keep automizing everything. So until we figure out something else to do and all that stuff happens to replace it, I mean, this is just gonna continue.
This is true. This is true. Yeah.
Like think about it, patriarch. You gotta think about it. About everything in America went downhill when they took prayer out of the school. You don't see when back in the
Facts.
day when we was growing up, when prayer was in the school, you never heard about police shooting in the school. You never heard about people getting on drugs, all this thing. So when they took God out, everything started having a domino effect. Now people like more drugs is more is getting more and more corruption throughout the day.
Sexy, who is this above me?
What?
I said, who is this guy above me?
His
What's
name
his
is
name?
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie.
Don't do it, Ronnie.
Okay. All
Do
right.
you like big Frank?
What did you say?
I said, do you like big Frank? I'm the perfect one.
Go ahead, Coolio. I'm not going to entertain her. Go ahead.
I think it's time for you to go back to work. Okay.
Okay,
right.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, have a nice day. Bye, Ronnie.
Okay. All right. So anyway, hey Kevin, come up here with your comment that's incorrect about white crime, because you know that that's incorrect. I agree, man. I just think that discipline. I'm a fan of them bringing weapons back in schools. I do think kids need to get the paddle.
Well, yeah.
Spare the rod, spoil the child. I'm not going to say who probably had the rod spared that was recently on this panel, but it really, you spare the rod, spoil the child, man. So I feel like, the whooping should come back. I feel like everything, I just think that that's a part of it. So I agree, man. Prayer in schools is necessary.
I mean, I think I feel like it's my generation that fucks shit up, because it's all our kids that's acting up in school and doing dumb shit. My mom, she went to one of the local high schools to give a financial literacy class, and she said all the kids like turned their desk around in a circle and just totally ignored her, and no one did anything about it.
Interesting. That's crazy. All right, Kevin, what's your issues with crime? And you trying to cap today or what?
No. I actually wasn't going to come up, and the young lady who just left, and I don't want to talk bad about her or anything. I was actually going to come up while she was up, but she mentioned something about crime, and then she started to kind of make it racial, and then she started to kind of lean toward the fact that basically black people are committing crimes.
They are.
And the dark-skinned black people. And you know what? That is true. Here's the problem, though. I look at crime across the board with other races, and you know what? They're committing crimes as well.
What is that? What is it? I don't like. What? Like once again,
uh-huh.
I don't. Is it? Do you have such a low standard? Like if somebody jumps off of a bridge, don't you? Do you love? This is what I'm saying. Do you love black people?
Yeah.
Do you love black people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
because I'm one of them. Yeah, but that means
But most black people most black people don't love black people enough to tell them the truth.
I mean, I think we know that there's we have some criminals and bad actors in the group. I think everybody's is fully aware of that.
Are they?
My issue, and this is my issue is that
what percentage, Kevin? What percentage would you say are agree with the last statement?
I would say at least 50 to 60% of black people know that there's some criminals and bad actors in the group.
No,
you don't think so?
No. We have a no snitching culture. No snitching culture. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a ghetto to raise a criminal. And what we become is a bunch of enablers and blame shifters.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not gonna disagree that that's happening, and I don't support the fact that that does happen. I would say that happens probably in certain areas, in certain neighborhoods, versus so
in certain neighborhoods. What neighborhoods are those?
I would say the ones where
St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans.
I would say ones that are disadvantaged and they have issues and problems. I would say that so because I don't know where you live, but and I don't know if you live around black folks, but I'm in a pretty decent neighborhood, and there's some black people.
You don't even live in the country.
When I do. When
okay.
I'm in the United States.
Okay. When you are. Yeah, they're so bad you had to leave.
When I'm in the United States. No.
Where are you from?
I go back and forth to the United States on a regular basis.
Where are you from? What area did you grow up in?
I'm in the United States on a regular basis.
What area? Where'd you grow up? Where did you grow up? You don't mind me asking.
I grew up in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I came.
Wow, I have an aunt that lives in Duval.
Yeah. Jacksonville it's grown exponentially.
It is. Jacksonville's an amazing city.
Yeah, actually, it's a really good city, especially when I'm a little aggravated that they got the Panthers. I'm not with the Jaguars after I left, but I mean,
oh man, the Jaguars are nice.
I would have grown up a fan. Obviously,
they're just balling out right now.
They are
because Jacksonville had to be the what we had Miami and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay pretty much sucked when I was growing up, so everybody was kind of a Dolphins fan.
They still do now.
Yeah.
Now the teams in Florida are good this year. All of them. Tampa's good.
You are Pat.
Yeah, Tampa, Miami, Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars. I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan. I mean, we gotta play them. We gotta play Tampa Bay next week.
We'll see where the Jaguars are going to go.
Miami's good. Dolphins good. Dolphins good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
the Dolphins are nasty, bro. Like I can't even. I don't believe in Tua though. I think Tua is absolutely terrible. But like, can you imagine if the Dolphins had a decent quarterback? Like,
we'll see what he is after
Tom Brady. Forget about it.
No, bro. If Tom Brady had went to Miami, oh my God, undefeated.
Let's see where he is after about the 20 about 25% of the way into the season.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's when teams start to settle in.
That's
right.
True. That's true.
That's when they start to settle in. But back to your point. So I just don't like the narrative that it's only black folks committing the crimes.
Well, disproportionately though.
Well, I mean.
Murder, come on, bro. 13%.
I get all of that. I get all of that. But one of the things that I see is
property crimes, all of that. Well, bro, even if you look at victims, who are most victims of these violent crimes?
Yeah, the people who are closest to, the people committing those crimes.
Well, I mean,
and then you have people who go outside. Oh, hold on for a second. My daughter's getting ready. Hold on for a second.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. You can mute up. So, yeah, bro. I don't know, Quinn. I agree with what you're saying about the kids, man. I just feel like. Go ahead, Kevin. Sorry.
Yeah, she just came in to say goodnight. She's going to bed. Yeah. So, I mean, I get. I guess my issue is just there's just this narrative that black people are the only ones committing crime. I just have a problem with that because Black men particularly are villainized, and we have to deal with this. And then we get the stereotypes, the negativity. We get the brunt of all the the negative behavior associated with that. That actually plays into the negative bias, the stereo. It's just a lot that goes into it, So
stereotypes exist for a reason, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, I
yeah,
was in a
I get all
situation.
that, and I'm not trying to argue with you on it.
Deep down,
Yeah,
even deep down yourself. And I realized this the other day. I had an interaction with somebody the other day. It's survival where my instincts kicked in, and I might have been a little bit judgmental. It's the same thing. You're not going to assume every lion that walks up to you is a good lion, or every pit bull without a leash is not going to bite you, right? You operate based upon what you've heard, and that is a survival instinct. So, you are a military man, correct?
Yeah. There's several decades of military. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to make this a black conversation, even though it always seems to go there, right? What's going on with this pipeline?
Well, the young lady brought it up, so that's just kind of.
What do you think about this pipeline situation? Is everybody aware of this Russian pipeline situation?
You mean with
up in the ocean,
the fact that they're getting all this money and during the war, and they're using it to finance the war? Is that what you're talking about?
No. So yesterday, mysteriously, right? Russia's main. So Russia has Europe issued sanctions against Russia. Russia issued them back. They weren't going to supply Europe with oil, right? Okay. Europe is now suffering because of that decision because they wanted to stand with Ukraine. And yesterday, it's so funny because in the group chat I'm in with Keep Trying, you there? In a group chat I'm in with him, we were literally just talking about who's really winning this war. Yesterday, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Russia's main pipeline to Germany mysteriously blew up.
Yep.
And Joe Biden was on said this before the war even started that he would end that pipeline. Now, and they're like, "What? What are you saying you would end? How would you even do that?" He said, "We'll end that." If this is true, and I hope I'm not saying we had anything to do with it at all. Don't get me out of here, YouTube. If that, bro, but like everybody's laughing. If it comes out that we did, that's over. Like we're on the edge of World War III. What? Keep Trying. Am I right or am I wrong about this?
I mean, because that could be considered an act of war.
Yeah. From us, right?
Yeah. If it's proven that the United States has nothing to do with that. Now,
well, I'm not saying anything, but I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. Don't say maybe I'm in trouble now. Maybe we gotta change the subject. But it's just very strange to me that that is kind of crazy. Like that is like I'm not saying we did. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying, but I'm just like that is wild.
Yeah, you're just talking about in Call of Duty. You're not talking about like
in Call of Duty. Yeah, and on Minecraft. On Minecraft. So
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That is very interesting in the middle of a major conflict. So yeah.
Because this would be a big conflict, right?
Well, it would escalate. Yeah.
Man. I certainly hope not.
We don't really need that. No one needs that.
Nobody needs that at all. Because I really don't understand. I'm looking at different news sources. I can't even get a read on who's winning because some of our news sources are corrupted over here. But I hear different stories from different sides.
Well, there's a lot of reports coming out that Ukraine is taking back a lot of territory. And Russia is where they initially held did their lines of advance, their initial points of entry. They've been able to hold on to that, but they haven't been able to move past.
I'm
past
hearing
that area.
I'm hearing something different. I mean, they don't have to take. From what I understand, from what I understand, they don't have to take everything over. All they have to do is drive NATO from their border.
Yeah,
that's a W. Like that's all you have to do is stop the advance of NATO. right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what
yeah.
they're trying to do? Like they don't have to like
That's
they don't have
part of
to
what they're
invade.
trying to do, but they also want. I mean, it's looking like they want some territory out of this too.
Well, the thing
That's
is, they
part
were
of it.
already prepping for this. Like they already they already had this. Dude, when Bush was in office,
Yeah.
George W. They already got like Georgia. They already got the areas around the Ukrainian border.
Yeah, it's been a slow creep. You know, Georgia, Crimea.
Yeah.
What's the other area? The Donbass region, right? So all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a slow creep.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something though. You're a political guy, right, Eric?
Try to be just a little bit. Try to study
Okay,
a little bit.
so we don't get Biden. Does this happen? Does Russia invade?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like so Ukraine was a part of Russia, and Ukraine's government is not. There's a lot of people, from what I understand, in Ukraine that want to become a part of, like.
Yeah, there's a certain region that's actually
like
right next to Russia.
Yeah, they
that's,
want it,
that's
and like they
pro-Russian,
banned them.
yeah.
Didn't they like ban them from even speaking?
Yeah,
the
they
Russian
identify
language?
more with the Russians than they do. Well, they identify a lot with the Russians and some
Okay.
with the Ukraine. So yeah, there's a region. That's the area that they're looking at. That's the area that they really want, by the way.
So for me, it's like at this point, listen, man, like Ukraine is not a clean place. All right. And I don't know, this may be the end of my channel. Like Ukraine is not a clean place.
It's not the end of your channel.
Historically, they've not been good. They're a part of Russia. Kiev was a part of Russia.
Even if you look at the freedom index, it says Russia is more freer than Ukraine.
Yeah,
right?
so I'm not even trying to like ethnically, bro. Unless
is it? I didn't look at that.
Hold on, hey, all right, bro. Here goes the channel. The channel's going after it. Let's be real, bro. Let's be real. Russia is a Christian country.
Yep.
Russia is an anti-feminist country.
Yep.
Russia is against the New World Order in terms of tech.
Yep.
Russia is against pornography.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All of the
alternative lifestyles too. They don't really appreciate that either.
All of the corrupting evil forces, right? Because listen, I can throw my shots all day at Shaniqua and LaRonda, and I can throw my shots all day at Tyrone. But Tyrone cannot do more damage than Pornhub. Tyrone cannot do more damage than the overlords of these this technocratic world that we live in. And I gotta go at Tyrone. I can't stand him. I can't stand his mama. I can't stand his behavior at all. But if I'm not calling out Zuckerberg can do more evil than Tyrone can. That's just what it is. And for me, when I see certain people and certain groups and certain organizations out here, even when it comes to certain communities, say, oh, we're doing something for, no, you're not, because you're still on these networks. If you were really doing something, you would be eliminated. They would literally eliminate you from social media, everything, if you were really making an impact. Because there is a globalist elite out there in media, in technology, in politics that influence everything, and they don't want to be challenged. And the fact that this pipeline yesterday just randomly out of nowhere is sabotage. They said it was sabotage. I'm just going to be quiet because I'm just going to be quiet because there's like on Call of Duty, right? Because does anybody remember a certain thing on Call of Duty a couple years ago with Iran's pipeline in the cyber attacks with that?
Yeah, I remember that in Call of Duty. I remember that.
In the Call of Duty. Okay. So like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead. And then this happens right after a certain person. Let's see, what should we call him? Angry Snowden man gets his papers from Russia. Then this happens. Just seems very interesting to me, right? Like we can talk about LaRonda and Shaniqua and Tyrone, but let's talk about the angry Snowden man. Let's talk about that. And let's talk about certain dealings with certain political parties in Ukraine. And let's talk about why a certain person was impeached. Not because, do you remember why Donald Trump was even impeached the first time? It was over Ukraine. It was over Ukraine. So, I mean, it really, to me, LaRonda, Shaniqua, yeah, they're the kids at Wawa, you know, they're good targets, right? But did the kids in Wawa do something to the pipeline? I don't think so. I don't think so. Did the kids at Wawa, did they get Andrew Tate kicked off of social? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so at all. Then check this out. Let me find something else let me tell you something else that was crazy. Hold on a second. That I know the game is afoot, as they used to say. Hold on a second. I know that the game is afoot across the world. Hold on, because this happened yesterday. Check this out. Hate to be on my conspiracy theory stuff here, but no, hold on a second. This right here. So all of a sudden yesterday, remember the pipeline that blew up, right?
Okay.
It blew up. It was pumping oil to Germany, right? Now check this out. Why did this happen yesterday? All of a sudden yesterday, Germany's authorities, now the same German authorities that were literally, these governments are weaponizing their internal manpower against political parties because the political parties are growing because they don't want to change. So tell me why the German authorities, the same authorities that can't keep the Syrians out, the same authorities that can't handle refugees, right? They literally raided the far-right political party's headquarters yesterday. And I wonder what their position on the whole Ukraine situation is. If they're far right, they're going to say that they want to end this conflict. They don't want this conflict to be sustained. But with this stuff, it's crazy. It's just crazy to me, man.
Well, there's a lot of coincidences.
Yeah.
There's a lot of series of events that look like they might be a coincidence, but it's all very peculiar.
And then these social media platforms, right? Look at what they're doing against certain people from Russia. They're like some people, they're cutting content creators' money. Like this is countries, while they do matter and why ethnic group matters, right? These global monopolies and defense contractors, they have so much more power than people in government. And it is absolutely, and they conspire with one another. And we can see that when we look at people that were knocked off of social media. How is it that with Tate, you're kicked off of all this stuff, but the same day you're kicked off of Gmail, you're kicked off of Airbnb, you're kicked off of Twitter, you're kicked off of Uber, all at the same time. The same time. So that lets me know that we're all just living in the time of the Wizard of Oz, right? And that the people that are in charge, it's not Biden. It's not like Facebook and Google and YouTube has more power than Joe Biden. YouTube has more power than our government. This is the new way. This is the new thing. This is the new way people fight. And so for me, it's like, this literally the same day alternative for Germany. I want to go ahead and look them up because I'm pretty sure. Let me see what they have to say. AFD. I'm pretty sure. I want to know. You guys can talk, but I want to know like what their policy is on Ukraine really quick. Hold on a second.
Who's that? Who are you looking for?
But Eric does make a great point when you talk about social media. That's why you think, look what happened in China. China banned so many platforms so they won't affect their country, such as TikTok. I think YouTube too. I think they banned YouTube as well. I'm not sure about Facebook.
But they ban certain creators. They don't want certain images on their networks, and they have the ability to bury a story very quickly.
They do,
Yeah.
or make up something about you, right?
Man, I listened to Andrew Tate I listened to it, and don't judge me. He had like a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah, I've listened to some of it too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that mother.
So once again, so check this out. So they're actually pro-Russia, which means they want to end this war with them. I don't, it's so funny to me, these Democrats and people in power, how they're all pro-war now. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this here because I only wanted to do it for an hour. But does anybody have any final thoughts about the clown world that we're now living in?
I think it's gonna get worse. I think it's gonna be more shootings, more drugs. I think this is gonna be the downfall of America. By 2030, America will no longer be a powerful elite country anymore.
Facts.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about destruction from within versus external forces, and I hate to say it, but a lot of it we're doing to ourselves. And it really starts with, well, it all starts with the family, and there's a significant breakdown there. So that's how you get the kids at Wawa out of control. That's how you get the drug problems. That's how you get people with the issues and the problems and the mental illness and all the other stuff and everything else. All of this stems from that, because if you have that core element in place, then that's how you build the communities, and then it just branches out from there. Because good fathers aren't going to allow all of this stuff to happen. And I don't want to talk bad about the woman who was up here, but she was talking a little bit crazy and outside of the realm of reality. Thinking it's almost as if women think they can do all of this stuff by themselves, and they can't.
It's okay. She's a woman, so they don't.
Well, they just can't do it. We have 40 plus years of data now that shows that they can't do it, and they're gonna have to admit they're gonna have to take that L and admit that, and get back in line with the men and become a team.
But why? These globalist technocrats, they have them. They want to change reality with that, right? Like that, they're their biggest ally.
Yeah,
literally, they are literally their biggest ally, man. And like for me, that's just what it is, bro. Like they have the full power of this brainwashing zeitgeist, this leviathan of social media, bro. Social media, like, bro, colleges and universities can't change more minds faster than social media. This is literally a modern day propaganda machine that's creating people into something and change it. Like it's and they have that on their side, and they have it because it eliminates people with our beliefs. And you see that they're working even in tandem. You see that a pipeline mysteriously just blows up out of nowhere. And the same day that a German far-right party gets raided, the same time, it's just crazy to me. And it seems like people are intentionally sinking things, making things worse, to destroy the country, to destroy everything. So then they can be relying upon them.
So, well, we'll see how it goes. But people need to fight back against that, because at the end of the day, it shows, all of this stuff out here in the ether is happening, but at the same time, you really need to be in contact and working with each other on the ground in close cooperation. Otherwise, people are going to get hurt. And mainly, the most vulnerable. And the most vulnerable in our society are the women, the children, and the elderly. So there you go. And I'll land right there.
Okay. My man V Twizzy, you came on a little late. You got any closing words for us?
Yeah. Hey, nah, man, you just hit it on the head, man. This zeitgeist is crazy, man. The overinflated egos that pop up from social media, man, it just has people all befuddled and going in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say that it would take a cataclysmic disaster to get people back on track, but I feel like that's what it's gonna take for people to actually realize what's right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Man, I wish I didn't come late. It's so much.
It's all good, bro. We're gonna be back on tomorrow, bro. We're gonna be back on tomorrow, bro.
This,
We'll throw one on tomorrow, bro.
yeah, this is not
We went from
uh
Coolio to PnB Rock to the kids in Wawa to men and women, and then on to this Russian pipeline, bro.
You know what's funny? PnB Rock shit was funny because I just watched a video like an hour ago of him talking about he ain't never gonna get hit up, he ain't never this, he ain't never that, and it's just so stupid to me. It's just like, if you're a person of certain stature, what validation do you need from the hood? Why, like,
Yeah.
what is there in the hood that could possibly benefit you that you're not already getting right now? What I don't understand. Like, you didn't get anything from it. You lost your life over sensitive activity that you know goes down every day in the hood. If some niggas see a guy that's eating, getting money, and they not getting it, what do people do? And their innate nature is to be envious and line you up and try to take what you have. So your best bets would be to use your noggin, stay far away from that, and I don't know, man.
Yeah. No,
Some of these people are so ingrained in the street and hood culture. And if we sit back and look at the Summer Jam screen of where that has gotten us, it literally has gotten us nowhere.
Yeah, but the thing about it is this. Remember, I talked about the technocratic overlords, right? The people that I want to call them the social media overlord. I want to call them the hypnotists, right? Because they hypnotize people. You think about BET, you think about rap music. It's all lies about the hood. They make the hood seem like some glamorous place. When in
Greatest
all
place
ideology, it's a black hole. It's
Big
a
black
place
hole.
of death and destruction. So, keep trying. You want to close us out here with anything? Because I'm about to end this thing. I'm getting a little tired.
Man, it was a good show today. Like I said, we could go a little bit more deeper into that. I guess next time, whatever. We could just talk about it. I guess a different way, because I do see a lot of people on YouTube. They do talk about like the whole stuff with the Russia pipeline, and they got into it, and I don't think they got any strikes on it. But for some other stuff, we always gotta refer to Call of Duty. But
Call
yeah,
of
man,
Duty.
I think that the state of the world, it is what it is today. I mean, there's nothing we can really do about it. And like I said, as technology keeps advancing and we keep automating everything, people are gonna be turning into drugs and other releases to get away, because they're gonna have nothing to do, and so they're gonna need the internet, the virtual world, to distract them, because everything's gonna be just hand put to them. They're not gonna have to do much. So, I mean, that's the future that we're looking at right now.
Yeah. Laura, y'all, I'm gonna end this, man. We'll see y'all probably tomorrow, a couple more days. I'm gonna do a little bit of I'm gonna do a little bit more of these, bro. We're gonna do some more funny ones, some more joke ones, but also I'm gonna be reading a political dictionary, the entire political dictionary out of this. I may actually have a class of the history of American politics or something. I may try to put it on Udemy. But yeah, man, get the likes up and bring me more people. So I'll holla at y'all later, man.
Yeah, take care, bro.